So guys, let's see. I've always been curious to see what's inside of a first aid kit, or do I even know how to use half this stuff? So somebody gave me this. It's from a pretty famous company here across the United States, and let's see what's inside of it. What can you do with this thing? Kind of hard to open it with one hand. Hold on. Okay, open. So let me open the rest of it. Yeah. Oh, by the time you open it, whoever it is going to be dead. Don't really know what the heck is going on here, but okay. Anyway, let's see. First thing I can pull out of here is headaches and pain. So it goes into some instructions here you can use. It's number 6, so I'm kind of starting off wrong. Okay, let's just pull all this out of here. Okay, so now it's out of there, just an empty bag. Let's see. So number 1. This is what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And number 1 would be cuts and scrapes. So how to clean the wound, dirt-free, debris, and antiseptic towelette. There's stuff inside here. We'll flip it around and look at that in a minute. Number 2 would be bleeding wounds and burns. How to treat that. 3 is sprains and strains. Rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Number 4 would be blisters, stings, and splinters. The sting ones is pretty good. Blisters is pretty good as well. So how to take the tick off, or how to place whatever this thing is on there. CPR and shock. So how to do chest compressions. Now we'll flip it. Oh, and then number 6 would be this guy here. I'm sorry. Headaches and pain, which is probably the most common. Most inflammation, soreness, wounds. So it tells you how to pretty much do everything. We'll flip it around here, and this is number 1. Cuts and scrapes. You got all this stuff in here. Bandages, different sizes. That's pretty cool. Bleeding wounds and burns. So you have gauze, special types of bandages. I don't know what that is. Paving pads, sterile, whatever you need. I guess if you're burning, you can open it up and walk through that. Number 3 would be sprains and strains. So there's some heavier gauze. This is heavier gauze than this. It's not the same. Some tape so you can compression, and I can tell this is ice right here. I can feel it's an ice pack or heat pad behind it. I can see the heat pad. I guess some more clauses over here. Blisters, stings, and splinters. This is going to be a big one when you're out there camping. So you have the Q-tips, medical kit, or you can put on there, and then you can this thing to move the stingers and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And you have CPR and shock. So here is an emergency blanket in case you're going into hypothermia. Hyperthermia and hypothermia are 2 different scenarios. I'm not sure what the scissors are for. I don't want to open it because it's sealed at this moment. SPR